So, credit where it's due, I was critical of Matt Goodwin a couple of weeks back after he said something that I wasn't particularly impressed with about a certain individual. Look, I've got my dog with me this morning, look. But I was watching his performance on Question Time, and I never watch Question Time, but I do watch Matt's channel, and I thought he was excellent. I thought he was first class, to be fair. I noticed a couple of things. First of all, Fiona Bruce, she's not a nice individual, is she? She's really not. She makes it very clear where her loyalties lie, and where she sits from a political viewpoint. Let's have a little listen to what Matt had to say about illegal migration.
The Labour Party are basically lying to you when it comes to illegal migration.
What was a lie?
And,
what was
I'm
a
going
lie?
to tell you. First of all, let's just get some facts on the table, OK? Get some facts on the table. More people have arrived in this country on small boats than the Labour Party have removed. And most of the people they've removed went voluntarily, OK? That's a fact. What Labour are doing is they are approving the vast majority of claims for asylum from people who arrived here often illegally, and then they're telling you they're moving people out of the country, but actually they're not. And Fiona made a critical point. If you've been here for 5 years, you get indefinite leave to remain, which means basically you get access to NHS, student loans, benefits, you can bring relatives in, and you're here forever. Now,
do you think we shouldn't grant asylum?
Sorry, the Centre for Policy... I'm going to answer the question I was asked. The Centre for Policy Studies this week estimated that you, taxpayers, are going to have to pay £234 billion over the next few decades because of that indefinite leave to remain, because nobody's controlling the borders. Now, we're not controlling the borders. Why? Well, Labour got rid of the only deterrent we had. It was too soon to know whether it was working or not. They then...
Well, it wasn't working. It was costing £700 million.
They then decriminalised illegal migration. They removed age checks on people coming into the country. They didn't reduce any welfare for people coming in to Britain. And then on top of all of that, we now have numbers up 15% on a year ago. They're going to keep coming because we have no deterrent. All we have are incentives for people to come in. The only way you fix this crisis, leave the ECHR, keep British people safe, reform the Human Rights Act, also need to do that, and have an active deterrent. Those are the only three things that are going to keep you safe in this country.
That's your opinion, Jacqui. I know you don't agree with that.
No, because Labour's making a mess of it.
So what you need to do is to tackle the criminals that are exploiting...
That worked in the war on drugs. Smashing the gangs worked in the war on drugs, didn't it, for the last 30 years? No, it didn't. Everybody who's worked on border security knows Labour's plan is not going to work.
Okay, let Jacqui answer.
Labour's plan is already working.
No, numbers are up 15%.
Professor...
Numbers are up 15%.
Professor, if I could just say...
but it isn't working, is it?
OK, let her answer, Matt, seriously.
If you know, Jacqui Smith, she's never been a particularly pleasant individual, is she? Jacqui Smith, you can't shut her up, can you? She just won't stop talking. Because that's what Labour do, that's what they're like. But the most telling part came at the end. Let's have a little listen to what Matt had to say, what happened at the end of the show.
On this issue. And now, what happened as the credits were rolling at the end of Question Time, which I found to be very amusing, and I wrote about it on X, is as the credits were rolling, and you won't be able to hear this if you watch the full show, I actually turned to the Labour Minister, Jacqui Smith, and I said, why are you lying to the country? Why are you lying to the British people? And her answer to me was, oh, do shut up. Oh, do shut up. And I thought that was a very revealing response, not because of my irritation at it. People have said much worse to me on X and social media, and I'm a big boy, I can handle it. But I was irritated because of what it shows about how Labour and Labour ministers think about the country. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about evidence that runs to the contrary. They don't care about what the forgotten majority actually wants to see in this country. If you present them with alternative views and opinions, their instinctive response is shut up.
And you'll notice what also happened when Matt finished speaking was the rather muted applause considering the size of the audience. Now, I think if you took 200 or 300 people, there's probably about 300 people in that audience, if you took any random 300 people off the street they would have applauded Matt's speech. You know, they would have cheered it out of the house, right? But no, all you got was like, you know, what was there, 20, 30 people maybe mildly applauding, no real enthusiasm for what he had to say, which just goes to show you how biased BBC Question Time is. I don't even know why. Honestly, look, I think Matt did well. I think he's brave going on there. But quite honestly, I don't see the point. The only people that watch Question Time, well, they're lost, aren't they? People that watch Question Time now, we might as well give up on them, because if you even bother to watch that drivel, then you're fighting the losing battle, aren't you? BBC Question Time. One thing I do disagree with what Matt said. He said it's the flagship political show. I don't believe that it is. I believe it's a laughable show. I think it's lost all credibility. It used to be. It used to be, but not anymore. And but he did well, Matt. He did well. Like I said, credit where credit's due. I criticised him the other week. But when I see something that I think needs praising, I'm also willing to do that as well. So well done, Matt. Keep it up.